We are here up at 1Mission World Headquarters, right? Global headquarters. Yeah. Nice. We're here with Jason and Nate. So talk a little bit about what your roles are here, and if you don't mind, about how 1Mission got started and where we're going. Some cool milestones that have just happened as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So.
Well, yeah, my role, I'm the CEO and founder. So founder, I guess we'll tell that story in a second, but as a CEO, I mean typical CEO duties. Nate's our VP of partnerships. He can kind of, I guess, share what that is. That's probably a little bit more exciting than the CEO.
I don't know. I mean, the way I kind of like to describe it, if Jason is coming up with the dreams and the plans for the organization, and Greg is the one implementing those plans on the field, Greg's our president, then I'm the one resourcing, finding partners, finding the finances to make that dream a reality. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did 1Mission get started?
So 10 years ago we started. This is our 10th anniversary.
I got the shirt.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done.
So it's exciting. It actually went by faster. I think that's what everyone says after 10 years, But yeah, the way we got started, I think, was pretty typical to, people who go. I went on a mission trip to Mexico probably about 30 different times through high school and college, building houses, specifically meeting those needs for people in Mexico, and just fell in love with the community. And just felt called to that community. But we also thought there was maybe a better way to implement programs and build houses for families, specifically partnering with them and doing with, not for. Yep. And so our model is to give people the opportunity to earn a home by serving their community. And so by doing that, it catalyzes a lot of community development activity, which, that's really at the nitty-gritty of our mission, is lifting people out of poverty through community development. We use house as an entry point to the family. But yeah, to get to the founding story, I mean, it was birthed out of kind of a vision to do more in a specific community. And then, just like any startup, it's like, okay, how do we start a nonprofit? Should we start a nonprofit? Yeah. Is this already being done in other places that we could model or partner with? And so we kind of worked through all of that. And realized that our model needed to be implemented in specifically Puerto Peñasco. We put together a board of advisors, and off we went. Sounds easy, but it was just like any startup. I think, I think a nonprofit startup is twice as hard as a for-profit startup.
For sure.
Yeah.
I came out of the church planting world.
Yeah.
And it's one thing when you can create a product or provide a service for income. It's another one when you're based purely off donors.
Yeah, and I think that's Nate's, I think, biggest challenge is fundraising, and to be more specific, we're selling hope, right? We're selling the market of the United States to say, hey, any extra money you have, which there's a million other places you could be giving it to, but here's us, here's what we do, and then we have to tell stories and impact, et cetera, but we're really reaching for this very small margin of excess income that people have. I mean, most people are paycheck to paycheck, so that's what makes it difficult, but it's doable. And that's essentially Nate's biggest role here is we want to make an impact. We want to go to as many communities as we can. Nate, what are the ways we can fund those projects?
So some milestones you just mentioned. So where are we at of houses built in a decade?
Yeah, so this is October. We just got into October of 2018, and we're going to build our 800th house this month sometime. So it's coming quick, which is remarkable. And even if you look at the growth, I mean, the first couple of years, like less than 10, and it just multiplies, right? But I don't know what our final numbers are going to be this year, but it'll be upper, like 170 maybe, 180, which is amazing.
The first trip, not the first trip, but one of the trips I went down, which was not that long ago, was number 500.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Like the exponential growth is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like you guys, like 1Mission, I'm sure, has not only changed the lives of the people that you're directly impacting, but also those people that are running the lumberyard, running amount of materials.
And that's really like a core part of our DNA, is that we want to locally source all of our materials to benefit the community at large, right? So we're not looking to bring stuff from the States down, but rather how can we provide as much of what we do locally within the community, because it has exponential effect, like you said,
Yes.
right?
So it's not just Puerto Penasco. Where else have homes been built?
A few communities in El Salvador, Nicaragua, and then our recent expansion to Hermosillo, which is just another city within Sonora, the state, which is south.
Gotcha. Is that one open right now?
Yeah. So we did our first 15 pilot projects there with a collaboration with the city of Hermosillo, which is a story in itself. But
Which is a sister city of Phoenix.
yeah,
That's right.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's kind of how the story goes.
Okay.
So, City of Phoenix kind of heard of us and reached out to us. Hey, what are you guys doing? Mainly in Rocky Point. We didn't have any intentions of going to Hermosillo, and they brought us to a delegation there with the mayor of Phoenix at the time, Mayor Stanton.
Yeah.
And that kind of birthed this relationship. And then from there we did pilot projects. The pilot projects went great, and we've since now just hired our first staff there, and now we're forming a longer term partnership. They want us to start to get to where we're building 1,000 houses in communities throughout Hermosillo. So that's exciting to think about. Yeah.
So I'm gonna brag on you guys for
Okay.
a while.
Okay.
Because you guys are too humble.
Thanks.
No, we like it.
Yeah. No, like, so I am like, there's a couple things I'm passionate about. God, my wife and kids, my work, and 1Mission.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's it, and baseball. But like, the first trip I went down there, we built a house with 11 people, and it absolutely sucked.
Mm-hmm.
With 11 people, like, on your first trip, I could do 11 people now with people I've gone before, but it's just crazy. And we will go down on the 18th of this month with 23 people, and 11 of them will be first timers.
Cool.
Like, it's the best drug ever. Like, you go down there,
Addictive.
and so I took him down for the first time. This will be his fourth trip. Third trip. And it's just you can't put into words the experience. On any given, and you guys understand this, on any given day of the week, I would rather be eating like the dollar store sandwich that I made and put some chips inside of it and find some shade, and that's the best lunch ever.
Yeah.
Like, it's just awesome. The amount of stuff that goes on and the people that are down there. Like, I love, like, Greg. Greg left corporate America and lives in a travel trailer down on the campground, you know. Yeah. The other thing is I was a pastor for years, and one of the things that eked me the most was organizations that would go down, especially to like Mexico, that would be the Great White Hope for the weekend and then leave. Yeah. 1Mission is changing communities, and there's so many people down there that are part of it that are doing work down there every single day. It's not about us at all. Yeah. Like, 1Mission is creating neighborhood heroes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I like the way what you had mentioned with hope. You know, I saw it firsthand on the second trip, because the family that we sponsored, they now have a pizza place down there. So we went down there and supported them there, and I was just like, wow, this is really cool. And I think it just gave them that sense, and then now they're very successful.
Yeah, I think we try to boil it down. If I ever get a soundbite and I only have like one sentence to say something to represent the world's poor, what I say is that the majority of the world's poor are not lazy; they just lack opportunity.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as Americans and as one of the wealthiest countries in the world, we are generous, and we have a very generous spirit about our country. Yep. And then also, the religious component of that, drives a lot of generosity. Unfortunately, though, if that's not implemented correctly, you end up undermining some things in community that have long-term effects. So, to your point of, even going down on mission trips, unfortunately, we tell a lot of our mission trip participants, you're not the hero in this story. Thanks for coming down here, but the story isn't about your Instagram post.
You're a hammer.
Yeah.
You're just a tool.
And that language kind of is different in the missions or international philanthropic world, because we all want our selfie, but if we're the heroes in the story, then it ends with us.
For sure.
And that's not really lifting anybody up. So when we see somebody start a pizza shop within a few years of them getting a house, especially if they're using the house as
within 6 months.
Yeah. That's
very, very cool.
It's a trajectory play, right? So,
and then for somebody to have a house built, what's that process look like? It's not a name drawn out of a hat.
Yeah, no. So every family is required to serve a minimum of 200 hours in their community. There's an application process, kind of vetting process, but really the two requirements are they serve their hours and they own or have a lease that's in good standing with the city. So they have to own their land. That's a much bigger and boring topic, but property ownership is central and key to poverty alleviation. So we're not going to alleviate poverty holistically by giving them or helping secure the land title for them, but it's setting a foundation where if things change at bigger governmental levels or at even the banking level where they can then leverage that asset, it's a game changer, right? We take it for granted as Americans that we could go, I could pull equity out of my home and start a small business, right? Like, it's super simple for us. I could have the money by the end of the month, right? Most of the world doesn't have that opportunity, and so we want to begin hopefully changing that to give them that opportunity if it ever arises.
For sure. So prior to the trip that Aaron and I went down and built in San Rafael area in April, he had 2 weeks prior been to Haiti working at an eye clinic. And one of the things that he was talking about was the difference in some of the neighborhoods, not to knock on Haiti, but there was some where it was like there was no drive or hard work to like for change. And what I love about and there's other neighborhoods that were what I love about the people that we built homes for is like they're out there busting their butt, and I know that like every single one of them have served building other people's houses, served in the kitchen helping feed people, everything from there's hygiene, the farming stuff. I love it on a Saturday night when people bring all this stuff that they're making by hand to fund their lives. Like it's just it's so much more than 3 days building a house.
I think it's a lesson that's learned. You know, I go with the concept that they have so little yet they have so much.
For sure.
And it's a little bit backwards for us here in the U.S. We just don't understand that until you're actually a part of it.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
One thing I appreciate about you guys is the business aspect of it, because that's what Aaron and I are in. Is we run a business and look at other businesses as well. Is talk about Las Palomas. So Las Palomas, for those people who don't know, is my wife and I go down there. It's the top of the top resort in Rocky Point. So what was cool that just happened with that?
Yeah, so we just launched a partnership with Las Palomas a couple weeks ago where they're going to be donating portions of their revenue if people use a build code when they register their room or when they reserve their room. But it's even more than that because there's ownership involved, because there's timeshares and stuff, right? So there's ownership involved at the hotel where they're going to be leveraging their relationships with the owners of the rooms to have them potentially give monthly or even quarterly to give back. So it's a really exciting partnership for us, obviously, because they are the premier resort in Rocky Point. And that really kind of helps explain a bit of our like fundraising philosophy even is how can we leverage partnerships to where it's mutually beneficial, right? So instead of just treating people as an ATM machine, right? Like, hey, give to us. Because people do receive from giving, right? Like there's the goodwill or the good feeling you have by giving away your money or your time. But we try and look beyond that and say, well, how can we like genuinely partner with people where there's mutual benefit, right? Absolutely. And so I think for Las Palomas, they're giving back to their community they're in, and that's significant for them that they have our brand attached to them as well. And so that's
a lot of their employees are also either previous house recipients or they're currently in the process. So
that's right.
Sometimes with a partnership like Las Palomas, and we've got one with the Suns and even the city, sometimes you get lucky and they call you. You know, the bigger your brand is, you know, they'll call you. we haven't really got to that point yet, right? So we have to hustle. And in nonprofit, one of the things I love about nonprofit, if not the thing I love the most about nonprofit versus for-profit, is with nonprofit everybody can get involved if they want.
Yeah.
Everyone has a place. Name a nonprofit.
Yeah.
They all want volunteers. They all want donations. They're all the majority.
For sure.
So with us, it's easy to think, oh, Las Palomas would love to get involved, but we had to do a little bit of legwork and go, okay, what's in it for them? And that's what makes our job fun. If you don't think like that, especially in nonprofit, and it's any sales, right? What's in it for them? But with nonprofit, I think it's even more important because it's all you have to sell. You can't sell. We're not selling a product. Again, we're selling hope.
Yep.
So we can go to a for-profit community of all resorts in this case and say, here's some of the brand partnership you're going to get, et cetera, et cetera. Not to get into the weeds of, what the exact partnership is benefiting them, but that's essentially what we're trying to do, right? Is what's in it for the Phoenix Suns?
Yeah, and I'm going to ask you the question: How can we help you, or how can the public help you? If they don't have funds, granted, funds is what produce it. And however, you have to have the manpower behind it too. So, what else is there that the public could help with, or we could help with?
Well, yeah, I'm sure Nate has a longer list than me, but just to start, obviously donations. Every nonprofit's going to say, go to our website and donate. Nate can share a little bit about the house-to-house program, but building a house, coming on a trip with us, signing up for a trip, that's an opportunity to get involved in a huge way. Obviously, sharing with others what we're doing, people that may be interested in our work, which I think there's a lot of people, especially in Arizona, that should be interested in our work.
Absolutely.
And I think the word of mouth is huge because a lot of people just don't know about it. And once the word gets out, I mean, we've seen it grow. Between us, and that's why we have such a large group now. And even I've got people that can't make it now, but they want to come back in the spring. So it's already benchmarked for that. So
even liking our Facebook page, all those things are beneficial because it widens our reach. It widens who we can communicate our brand to and our story to. And the bigger the pot, the more people that are going to attach in different ways, right? And so
we to that end, and I do want you to share about house to house, but I don't. One of the things that maybe makes us a little bit different than nonprofits in general is we don't refer to our donor base as a donor base. We refer to everyone as our tribe, and the thinking behind that is that everybody has a place to fit in somewhere. Our staff, our board, our advisors, the Thunder Board, all the way to the people coming on trips, all the way to the locals who are just advocating for families and cheering
people
them
that
on.
show up to the gala.
Exactly, the gala, signing up for our e-news, Facebook. This is our tribe. So as we talk internally about this group of people to advance our mission, then it becomes what are the tactics to grow that tribe or the tactics to go deeper with certain tribe members. Makes it easier to kind of look at our group. But essentially, here's our mission, here's a tribe of people. We always are trying to grow our tribe, but we always want to provide the very best experience for all tribe members. So we don't want a lame Facebook page because we think these people being our tribe, they deserve a great experience. If they're giving us their time, their talent, or their treasure, whatever they're giving us, what we can give them is a sold out passion to be the best experience that we can offer to them.
Absolutely.
I think one of the best things that you guys do offer as well is involving children in this. I mean, I really do. I mean, that my daughter, a typical teenager, and she wanted to come back again, second time. And of course, it gives her that up. So in other words, she's got the get it factor. They get it.
Yeah.
I took my then 8-year-old down in April, and it was, she's not going this time because didn't work out, but she's devastated. Yeah. And but we're actually, my wife and I and the kids are going down Monday for vacation, and we will stop by, especially San Rafael, where we've built several houses now. Yeah. And we'll go knock on Nacho's door, and he'll come out and offer us the world. And these people, every single time that we built a house, they've said, "You come back every single time," and it's not lip service. No. They invite you in and they show you everything they've done and so on and so forth. Yeah. So speak a little about house to house.
Yeah. So I think house to house, really encapsulates our partnership kind of mentality. House to House is our program with realtors primarily, although it can reach more broadly within the
lenders,
real estate
title.
lenders. Yeah, but really where it seems to have the most traction was with real estate agents. And really, basically, realtors are giving portions of their commission back to 1Mission. 100% of public donations go directly to our projects and programs in the field and are always attached to a family. So they're donating a portion, we're attaching that money to a family, and then we provide some marketing materials for them. Yep. A flyer that has their information on it that they can tell clients about what they're doing. We do a video for them, so we'll bring real estate agents into the office about once every couple months, record them answering why they love 1Mission, why they love being an agent, package it together, give them a little 90-second video, promo video that they can put on Facebook, their website or whatever. And then probably the coolest feature is a client gift. Yeah. So client gift's this little wooden box that is co-branded, but inside is the family bio. Tells the story of the family, and this is something that realtors give to their clients upon closing that now pulls the whole story together, right? Like, this family's been working hard to get into this house, and they're getting into their new home is helping put a family in poverty in a home, right?
And it comes with a keychain that you can put their first house key on.
Keychain, put their first house key on. It's really, I mean, it's been an overwhelming success.
And they can either do like a flat fee.
Yep.
Or they can do a percentage.
Yep. And that's, again, like, everything we do is as relational as possible. So people ask, like, what's a normal donation size? And I tell them, like, a range. And they're like, oh, okay, what does that mean? And I said, listen, I'm not here to legislate more giving, right? There is, like, kind of a bottom line because we are producing materials. There is an expense on our side. But ultimately, it's relational. And we know that if you join the program, you're going to be so pleased that it's going to be a long-term relationship. And so I'm not going to nickel and dime you or give you some like fee that you have to give, right? Like, we want it to be a relationship. We want you to be bought in. And then the hope is, and actually the same weekend you guys are going down will be our first house-to-house build. So we'll all be down there together.
That's why we chose that weekend.
And so
we've got 3 lenders going from different companies, as well as 6 or 8 real estate agents
from different companies there too. Yeah.
2 or 3 friends and 2 or 3 people from church. So it's primarily people in the industry.
Yeah. So we're gonna have so we'll have about 30 people down there, and the hope is that one year soon, the whole weekend, a couple hundred people, all from the industry and clients, right? That's what I think has the most power.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that you build a couple special relationships throughout the year with some families. You invite them to come on. And I mean, again, it's all about, like, how can we do a program that helps put more families in homes, because that's our mission, but also benefits our partners. So for you guys, especially as realtors, you know that it's all about relationships. It's about referrals. It's about continuing relationships with people. Yeah. And what a great way to do that than to spend a weekend with clients and their families and be able to work together to make an impact. So,
looking at just broad, like, obviously we're in Phoenix right now. Aaron and I are from Tucson. Where are some of the places that people have come to build from?
Well, all over Arizona. So we have about 80 church partners, and then we have about, 15 other types of partners, like all the major universities, and then we have companies. And so most of them are from all over cities of Arizona, but extends into California, Nevada, the surrounding states. But as far as Canada, we've got a few groups that come from Canada
that drive.
That drive.
One team was down there when we were down there. They drove from Canada.
Yeah, lots of Canadians. Now, some of that's Greg's influence, as Nate mentioned. But we've also had, I think there was a girl that rode our bike ride. We do a Bikes Fight Poverty ride every year in February from Phoenix all the way down to Rocky Point. 2 days, 200 miles. And I think we had a 16 or 17-year-old, and her and her dad flew out from North Carolina or something. So we've had people come from all over the country to partner in some way, shape, or form.
I think we have an Ireland team come a few years back.
Yeah, a church from Ireland. So
like our real estate team is in Vegas, Kansas City, Albuquerque, and by the end of the year we'll be at Salt Lake City as well as Florida. Okay. And I think of going how we can spread the word to those locations.
Yeah, there's some interest in other locations.
Yeah.
It's just, when due time, depending on the timing.
Yeah.
Well, and our hope, and that's the thing with the house-to-house program is it's got scalability.
Absolutely.
And obviously there's realtors everywhere, right?
Exactly.
And so we're trying to really refine it here so that the product and what we're doing is excellent so that when we expand, we can expand with excellence, right? So
one of the other things I love is the Thunderboard. So what is that's why we're up here right now is what is the purpose behind the Thunderboard, and you don't have to give names, but some of the backgrounds of some of the people on it. Like when I was up here in I think April, something like that, I'm like, oh, this is the most diverse group of people out there.
Yeah, for sure.
So what is Thunderboard, and what are some of the people that are helping influence 1Mission?
Thunderboard is essentially an advisory committee to the organization, different than our governing board.
Yeah.
So,
but why is it called Thunderboard?
Yeah. So to get into the specifics, we have this term around here, like if you really want to get something done or just crush something, then we say, "Oh, you thundered that." It mainly comes from me. So I kind of
exclusively comes from Jason. We all use it, but it's definitely.
It's like, let me clarify this. I did not come up.
No, I think it's a great term.
It just describes so much. So we thunder a lot of things around here. So we had we were going to begin to recruit governing board members, which that's traditionally the model of a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Recruit them on the governing board and then do a committee. And we thought a friend of mine from another nonprofit had a brilliant idea. It just said, rather than, in his words, wasting time with some of these people who can actually thunder a lot of stuff, don't waste our time with governing board nonsense like policies and procedures. And
I don't want to be in a meeting that has Robert's Rule of
And
Order.
most people who can actually thunder stuff, they don't want to be in those meetings,
correct.
right?
Absolutely.
So we said, well, let's fill our board with people who've been around a long time for the organization, blah, 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 attorneys, CPAs, etc., specialists, and then let's put together this Thunderboard to literally just thunder strategic initiatives throughout the year. So the board is about 25 people. We meet about 3 times a year, and it's not a heavy time commitment in terms of how often we meet. But it's essentially 3 times a year. Tonight's one of them. We'll lay out 2 or 3 of our top strategic initiatives over the next 3 to 6 months. So it's time bound, and then we say, hey, can you guys help us either unlock doors and get meetings with the governor, the president of this?
Who do you know that I need to know?
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of it's networking, but we'll hold everyone accountable, if you will, and say, open up your phone right now and let's get some names on a paper right now. And so usually tonight, for example, Nate will come away with names and dates and then follow up with the Thunderboard. These are very busy people, but it's eclectic, as you said, diverse. So we've got anything from celebrity fitness models to newscasters exactly.
Clearly.
Obviously.
And we've got some, below average realtors that have snuck in there from Tucson, but
that was actually a compliment. I'm glad I got to below average.
It's
city councilmen, economic,
technology company.
So diverse from sectors, because we want to involve all the sectors, but also diverse in personality types, etc.
So awesome.
But the fundamental kind of core value to the team is they have a proven track record of getting things done, and that's either proven by their success that we can see, or they've been around us for a while and they've been on a bunch of trips. Like you guys, financially contributing, coming on trips, just blowing up your feed with check out 1Mission. Those are all things that's like, okay, this guy is going to advocate for us. So Thunderboard is also something we can continue to expand.
He can verify that I'm not lying. I've got 3 Under Armour polo shirts, and then every single other day of the week I wear 1Mission shirts.
Thank you.
Between Facebook and wearing,
you got the tattoo parlor all lined up right now.
Oh,
so
It's just all I wear. So but what I love about that is I wear them almost exclusively to every single baseball, softball game I coach and help with. And people just ask, what's 1Mission? My chiropractor the other day, he goes, I see your sticker on your truck and your shirt. What is 1Mission?
Yeah.
And I told him, he's like, dude, I'm so in for a trip.
Cool.
Which a chiropractor after building all day?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap this up. What are the best ways to get in touch, a hold of, get involved beyond either trips or house to house or supply yard? How do people get in touch?
Well, I mean, if they're listening or watching, I think if they know you,
Yeah.
Obviously connect with you, and you can kind of hear out what they want to do, what they're looking for. Go to our website. The website's going to always be the best resource to see all the different ways to get involved.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Supply Yard. That's our monthly giving program. 100% of what's given on our website, whether you're giving monthly or giving one time, 100% of it is tied to a family that you can see on our website. And then when that house is built, you get a proof report back. So if you want to give $10 a month, we send you a T-shirt, and then every time that $10 is deployed, which is usually monthly, those houses are getting built, then we're reporting back. So that's kind of an easy way, and I would at this point, just challenge people to say, commit to $10 a month, you'll get a T-shirt, follow our e-news, try it for 6 months, and I would be as bold as to say you won't be disappointed. I mean. Hopefully that we are earning people's trust in the sense that we're passionate about lifting people out of poverty. I think we know a little bit about what we're doing. We've had some track record, and now we're looking for more partners to continue to trust us to do that.
Awesome financial accountability.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, that's overarching. That's huge. That's especially within the nonprofit world.
Well, and it's a way to differentiate, right?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of skepticism with where does money go, and so that's part of the reason we run the organization that way, right?
Yeah, and the trips, I recommend that everybody go down to a trip, and the reason being is that you don't have to have a skill set. We brought down one of our real estate agents that, I mean, we had to ask for a second box of nails because he couldn't hit a nail straight. Yeah. But still had a blast. I brought down my 9-year-old daughter.
Yeah, we don't use any power tools.
Yeah.
So anyone can get involved.
Yep.
But.
It's absolutely incredible. And Saturday night, Fiesta night, where the families come in, and I'm not a crier, but Fiesta night, I'm toast.
It's emotional.
You just listen to the stuff and going, and how I hate to describe it this way, but to American standards, you're building a really nice tool shop, right? I hate to say it that way, but doesn't have flat screen mounts and stuff, but it's done extremely well, and it's going to hold up perfectly. That changed their life. That's one of the best things that's ever happened to them. Yeah. The sizes of it are
11 by 24.
11 by 24, and they can have 2 separate rooms, and then the bathroom area. Yeah. Roof, it's stuccoed. It's got OSB on the outside.
Concrete flooring. I mean, the foundation alone is what really is probably the biggest life changer, because it's provides for better health. Kids who grow up with on concrete flooring have a far more likely chance of graduating high school. And that's really, for me, what gets me excited is the parents, yes, their lives are being changed and the quality of life's being changed, but their trajectory is not being changed too much, right? They may be able to get themselves a bit more out of poverty, but these kids who now are growing up with safe and secure housing, they really have the chance to have their trajectory change. And that's really, and that's why we have a term that we say, slow is fast. To really see long-lasting community development, community change, poverty alleviation, it takes a long time. Yeah. And so we're not in it to just give away houses and build thousands of houses as quick as we can. We're in it to see these families and these communities change in the long run. And so it's going to take time, but we're excited because that's where we'll see.
It's one house at a time, though.
Yeah. That's right, yep.
You guys are at that point 10 years in where you're going to start seeing generational change.
That's right.
And
those
then
kids from 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
the comment that I get the most, and you guys get it the most, I guarantee it is, oh, but Mexico is so unsafe, and they see this stuff. Like, I will take my kids down there next week, and we will go in the barrio areas. Mm-hmm. We will go to our favorite churro stand down there at night. Like, it is, you can get in trouble in Rocky Point. You also get in trouble in wherever city you want to. That's right. But when you go, especially to like San Rafael and these other neighborhoods, like, it is the salt of the earth people. Mm-hmm. They're absolutely amazing. Yeah. There's like, I don't know. I look at Rocky Point and I go, how fast can I move down there? Mm-hmm. Like, it's the people. You guys can attest to this. The people are absolutely phenomenal. They are. Yeah. They're some of the best people in the world.
I think that's something we can learn from a lot of the world's poor. I've been blessed to be able to travel to lots of communities where extremely poor people live, and they have a spirit about them that's different than us, and there's a lot we can learn from them. They're very familial, very close with their family, and I wouldn't say it's not a happiness thing. I mean, they know there's parts of their lives they're miserable, but they have gratitude when their roof doesn't leak, right? They're great. They have gratitude over things that we would be like, what? They have gratitude over getting meat because they haven't maybe had meat in 2 weeks.
When our AC's not cold enough, right?
Yeah.
So we were down building, and I believe the family's weekly income was $40 or $50 a week, and they went to. There was, I think, 15 or 18 of us on that trip, and on Saturday they went down to Pollo Lucas, and I don't know, probably spent US dollars $30, something like that. And we didn't ask them to do that. We have sandwiches made, and they go spend their weekly income to feed us.
Yeah, those are the types of things that, as you describe, what happens on a trip. Why? It's because when you see a family who makes $40 a week and spends that income to feed you, a foreigner who's only been there for 3 days. Yes. And they've earned their house. They don't have to do anything else. They put their time in. But they want. It's again something we can learn from them. But these are things that are very powerful for young minds. I went on my first mission trip at 13, and that's where really my life changed, because I joke the poorest kid I knew didn't have a swimming pool, so I didn't know anybody lived like this. So I go on a mission trip, and it blew my mind. Absolutely. I mean, it broke me. So to anybody with kids, especially teenagers, it's a very powerful tool. You don't have to say much. You're a parent, you bring your kid there, especially if they're spoiled, which most American kids are, and I was too. Mm-hmm. And my parents weren't even on that trip with me, and I came back different, very different.
With having kids, Aaron and I talk about this a lot. Like, my mindset have shifted from whatever dumb goals I had when I was 16 to now going, like, my number one thing is leaving a legacy for my kids. Like, the thought of being able to have my kids take their kids down to Rocky Point and go, man, we helped build these 90 houses in this area. And with Facebook now, like, we're friends with most of the people we built with on Facebook. And it's just like, I Google Translate a lot of sentences before I send it to them, but it's like, it's so much different than like even 10 years ago, right? Being able to watch these families succeed at a high level. So we appreciate what you guys do. Thank you. What you guys have done has changed my life, changed my daughter's life, and just it's changed almost 800 families. So what website?
1Mission.org, Instagram, Twitter, 1Mission.org.
Yep.
Facebook, just search for 1Mission with the number 1 and you'll find us.
Buy some swag.
Wear it. Help share the word. Thank you guys for your support and for this. And appreciate it.
Sweet.
All right, guys, thanks.
All right, have a good one.